All right, so I wanted to give someone, if someone needs help with this, because I've been struggling with this. This is an Echo 225. Um, as you can tell, Echo 225, and I've been having a bunch of problems with it. It wouldn't run. It wasn't getting fuel to the cylinder. The spark plug was fouled. It was just this thing hadn't been taken care of very well. Um, it's my dad's. He just throws it in the shed and then expects it to work every time. But yeah, he hadn't been doing any maintenance on it. He's also not the only one that uses it. So multiple people have used it. They ran the wrong um, ratio of fuel to oil on it. So I got it because it completely stopped working. First thing I did was try to get fuel to it. Didn't work out. The carburetor that it had was completely clogged. So this is the carburetor here. I tried taking it apart, cleaning it out, but it was just something was stuck inside that needle inside the main jet. I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get fuel to it. I can get it to run if I sprayed fuel into it, but I ordered a new carburetor. This is whatever this brand is here. So I think it's whatever that brand is. I got it on Amazon. It was like $15. It came with a spark plug. It came with a carburetor, a couple extra bowls. Came with the filters that go down here. So it was a pretty good deal. Put the carburetor on, and I could get it to run. I could get it to idle. But the moment I gave it throttle, it would just bog down, or it wouldn't get to a very high RPM. It would just run really, really, really bad. Took the fuel out, put some brand new fuel in, thinking that maybe the fuel was old. Put the right ratio in. That wasn't the issue. It ran a little better, but not much. So I ended up checking the compression on it. Compression was kind of low. It was like in between 90 and 110, somewhere around there. So I would say on a good day, probably 100. That's cold compression. So I thought, okay, maybe the compression is going out, but it should still be able to run. I was about to take the cylinder head off, check the rings and the actual piston, but I decided to check the exhaust first because I've seen some that get all clogged up right in here. So this port gets completely covered in soot, and then it can't work very well. But that wasn't the issue. That had a little bit in there. I cleaned it out already, but it wasn't it. But while I was out, I took the exhaust apart, thinking, okay, well, let's see how it runs without the exhaust. I turned it on, and I revved it, and it revved up to max RPM, and it sounded really good. So I was like, okay, that's really weird. Let me check out the exhaust. So I pulled the exhaust apart, and there's a. So this is how it looks. It bolts in. This bolts onto the side. There's two bolts that go across, along with that gasket. And this gasket goes between here, along with this little like baffle. So it goes something like that, right? When I took this off, there's a screen that goes right there, and this is what the screen looked like. So as you can tell, and that's after me cleaning it. That should be like an actual screen. It shouldn't be like blacked out like that. So I'm gonna rip this out, keep it off, put that back on, and then see how it runs from there. But if you're having problems where it bogs down, especially when you give it gas, I would either take that screen off or take the whole muffler off and see if it revs up better. So, yeah. Any questions, post them in the comments. Thanks.